Welcome back, everyone, to another video. I hope everyone had a happy New Year's and they set off all the fireworks that they wanted. So, today we are going to talk about just the sets that we are getting into. I am using my mic off of my camera. So if it does sound a little off, that is why. I definitely have to look into getting a better mic and or camera. Maybe you got to switch out the background as well. Um, but today we're not using the mic. Um, the headset is just not working out for me right now. So um, let's get into it. Let me move this around. All right. So these are the main three sets that I am working with right now. And I wanted to talk about why now I am not doing any more Mega Evolution because I don't want it to end up like Surging Sparks right now. So out the gate, Surging Sparks was at around 1800 and it dropped. It was actually a little bit above 2000 is what it actually was at. And so it basically dropped, 50%. And so I think the buy window for this Mega Evolution is going to be pushed back a little bit just because I don't want it to get halved. Do I think the booster box is going to change at all? Not really. I think they're all about the same. I still think it it's really tricky. It's really tricky right now to think, right? This is the lowest box, booster box that we got pretty much right now that we can purchase for the buy box of being over at least 1,000 in the total value. Obviously, we want the highest, right? But this thing has just been continuing to drop, which is why I wanted to bring this up, right? So this is all of the cards within Mega Evolution, like the top. What is that? 2, 3, 6 by 4, so 24 cards. So this is 24 cards of the top cards of that set. So do we think these cards are going to continue to climb over time? Obviously, yes. I think the cards over time start climbing slowly with good sets, which I do think Mega Evolutions is a really good set. But we'll see how it turns out because what really seems to be carrying these sets is these mega hyper rare cards, which honestly I don't see me buying any of these. I don't I just don't want to buy the gold cards. I just don't think they're worth it enough for me right now. I mean, I know they're harder pull rates, but I don't open packs anyway. So I just wanted to show the cards off because we're going to be going over these as well. But right now, I think I can hold off on buying Mega Evolutions and kind of waiting for Mega Heroes to come out and see where Mega Evolution is gonna sit, right? Because if every single set comes out with the gold cards, the Mega Hyper Rares, right? Each of the set values are going to be higher just because of those gold cards that are harder to pull, and so that could affect my numbers on thinking of how I should best play this, right? So obviously, Mega Prismatic Evolutions is actually dropping in the total value of the set, which I actually love. I love that this set is dropping because I'm continuing to buy. I think this total value is just way higher than everything else. And when we come over to the cards, right, you have a chance to pull an $815 card out of one $9 pack, which the percentage gain there is just insane, right? And of course, you can always get the God pack, right? And then it's like 2 grand out of a $9 pack, which is just insane. Um, but looking at this first page, we just got all really, I guess, expensive cards in the set, right? The first 24 of this thing, the lowest is 28.68. Mega Evolutions is $5. Like that is huge, huge. Which is also, I mean, also correlates with the total value, right? Obviously, we're gonna need to be crunching out a lot of numbers because of that total value, which makes sense here, right? Or there was multiple $800 cards, which we really don't have a set other than like Team Up right now and or older sets that are over, and Evolving Skies can't go wrong. But they have multiple cards that are over like the $500 mark, right? And those are all high total value sets, which we are wanting to get into, right? Um, but today, I'm not normally going to go over cards, but I wanted to show you guys um, why prismatic is what I'm basically the only thing I'm really buying right now. When I get the Black Bolt and White Flare deals, I obviously make the play, and we're gonna get the game. We're gonna get the place there because I think this is just very undervalued for the set, and we're gonna take a look at this too, um, because I mean it has a 400 multiple over like $300 card, two of them in Black Bolt, and they've got multiple cards at higher values, and of course there's like a bunch of cards within Black Bolt and White's Flare, which is probably why the total value is up. But I also think that's a good reason to buy the set. There's huge master set values. I am going to start working on doing master sets because I do the numbers right here, right? I know the total values of the numbers, and I think it's good to you can basically sell a master set binder, which is super easy to like tell the value of, which I like, right? It's basically like a box. Basically, if you have all of them, which I mean, I don't rip packs. I would rather buy the individual cards, but I think master setting is just a good way to stay in the hobby and enjoy it and have kind of have a grind to go after. When I go to you know vendors and or just card places that I can go see vendors and buy cards, right? I like to have the grind of like, all right, I know I don't have um this card, right? So for like Twilight Masquerade, for example, I've got a master set of that, and it was the Infernape reverse card, which was the hardest card to find in for me in the entire Twilight Masquerade set, right? And so that is a memory for me, knowing, all right, that one took me a while to figure out how to get, right? Rather than just buying them online, I do enjoy going to, the vendor tables and checking out what they have and kind of sourcing it through there because I do prefer the in person buy and sell. I think being able to interact with someone who is in the hobby and creating relationships and networks is super important, which I think a lot of people are getting away from, and they're doing more online, just not being able to interact and just buying things online, right? But having that network is huge, 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 huge. A lot of my plays come from, just kind of knowing people and, being in the discords, reaching out to people, asking questions. It's just you can get better deals, and it works out for both parties at the end of the day. Especially like for me and or other people that are, holding sealed product and trying to do vendor stuff. It works out and it helps both of us because we just enjoy what we do. So let's get back to the cards. I wanted to show you guys Evolving Skies first because all of the Eevee sets do absolutely crazy things, right? And Evolving Skies is just an example of that, right? This card wasn't 1775, um, 2 years ago. It was probably, I think it was like around like $700, and so this is how it's grown. And so I think all of the EV stuff is going to grow exponentially more, just because it is a super liked, super cute Pokemon, right? There's there's really no one out there that I've heard that's just hating on the evolutions. I don't know, I've just never heard of that. And so I think it's a positive buy, just in general from an emotion standpoint. uh, People enjoy having the cute stuff, right? There's always going to be a portion of people that are buying because they just think it's cute and think it's something that they, would like to have around, or just being able to look at all the time. And so, um, correlating that with Evolving Skies to Prismatic, in this set's probably, what is it, like 5 years old, and so this wasn't 343. This was like 110, like 3 years ago. I remember because I pulled one of these when I opened one of my Evolving Skies boxes. I did get a Sylveon VMAX, which is I've held it for this entire time, and I finally sent it off to PSA, and I'm waiting for it to come back to me. Um, and then I'm gonna sell it, obviously, because I've been just I graded like 43. I sent like 43 cards to PSA right now, and actually, it's not coming back because they're all going to eBay. So you will see one more of these guys on eBay once PSA is done grading them. But yeah, like I said, so like 3 years ago, this was like 110. So do I think this Sylveon is going to go up in 3 years? I think there's high potential because there's going to be less. I think there's going to be less product because it is prismatic in about 3 years. And so 3 years from now, that'll be about 2 years after the set will probably stop being printed, right? And I think that is a good range for when the cards start shooting up, especially for EV evolutions. They're going to start shooting up around. It's obviously after the set is done being printed, and I mean, Evolving Skies has just been slowly going up, which means the cards are slowly going up. And I know there's obviously a Rayquaza in the set, but in the Dragonite, but we're taking a look at all of the evolutions because those are what's carrying the set basically, right? I don't think Evolving Skies would be as insane as it is if it didn't have the evolutions, right? If we took out all the evolutions out of Evolving Skies, do I think this would be a $664 card? No, I don't think so. I think it would be probably half the price. And so, um, with that being said, the evolutions are carrying the set overall, which I think is exactly what's going to happen over at Prismatic. I think Prismatic is just going to slowly do exactly what Evolving Skies is, but I think it's going to do better. And why is that? Because let's head back. It does not have a booster box. There's going to be less packs out there. There's going to be less boxes because there's just there's not enough. There's not the massive products that have 36 packs in it, and it's just not going to happen, right? So that means the price of the pack and all of the sealed product is going to do a lot better than Evolving Skies in 5 years. Is what I am projecting, and so that is why I'm going in on Prismatic. But let's get into Black Bolt. These are the top 24. Where do I see this going? Right. So this is White Flare, Black Bolt. Where do I see this going? It's gonna continue to do what it's gonna do. It's a specialty set, right? We love the specialty sets because the prices of the sealed product grow faster than the main sets, right? And so I really don't understand why White Flare is so much. I don't know why it's so much less. I feel like I feel like honestly, White Flare is little bit better than Black Bolts. So um, we will continue to watch it and see where this goes. But I mean, take a look at the top 24, right? Like we've got obviously the Victini Reshiram. I think the Reshiram is just it looks very beautiful. I think it's a good card. It looks really nice, and I think the value of it is probably what I would agree with for sure. Um, but am I buying cards right now? No, I'm not buying cards right now. I'm really just getting all of the reverses and hollows and regular cards for master sets. It's kind of what I enjoy doing, and so I've got a couple people that rip a lot, and so I can make deals or they give me their bulk, and so I can complete a master set. Which is also why you want to build relationships and have some networking because people will help you out. You know, having goals is huge. People tend to follow goals, and so when you're passionate about master setting and completing a goal, which is completing the set, it gives people just direction on what you're looking for, and so they can help you out in that way, which I think is super important. But again, this is what we're doing. This is the game plan. We want prismatic evolutions, and if you can find some good deals on Black Bolt White Flare, definitely a move. Are we? I just I just cannot see Destin Rivals at 400. So I did um want to go to uh the 3-pack blister. I do think a 3-pack this blister of Destin Rivals is really good because all of the top sets, the 3-pack blister, they usually do fairly well, is what I've seen. I don't have them on here, but I do think picking up a 3-pack blister case of the Destin Rivals is something that I am looking into, and I think it just could be a play for right now, since the booster box is so high, and I do think Destin Rivals is going to do well over time since it is the only Team Rocket set that we've had for a very long time. So just in general, people are tying their emotions to the sets, and so just picking up on that, and I'm not buying these at 400. So if there is a deal, it would it would just have to be a really good deal for me to buy that. Mega Evolutions, we're kind of holding off, right? If you can get some boxes at 200, I think that's a great play. I don't think any boxes are going really under the $200 mark, and so I wouldn't be selling under 200 if you were able to get distribution prices or MSRP on booster boxes or ETBs for Mega Evolutions, but I think being able to buy them at 200, I think you can't really. I wouldn't say you can go wrong with that because of the just the total value, right? We haven't seen this high of a total value for a main set line in a while since Evolving Skies. But again, like I said earlier, the gold cards we really we really just don't know how these are going to affect all of the sets and if people are actually going to enjoy these for a long period of time, right? Because this is the new thing. We don't know how these are going to play out in the future, and so it's really kind of hard for me to buy these because there's going to be these gold mega cards that are coming out for all the sets, right? Which is going to boost majority of the set values of all the mega evolution sets. So we're gonna play it safe and just kind of wait for these, right? Just it's a new set. We've got about 2 years, and so I'm not really worried about buying these as much as I would need to, even though it is a I do preach off of the total value, but right now we're going all in on prismatic evolutions. I just I can't wait for the day that this number for the ETB is looking like this number. I can't wait for that day. Um, But that's all I got for you guys. Again, I hope you guys had a great July or January 1st and New Year's Eve. If you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Or if you have any plays that you think I'm missing out on, definitely let me know. And um, feel free to leave a like and comment for the video. All right. Y'all take care.